Cheers, welcome to my channel. This is a beginning of the month for February tarot oracle reading. And Libra, you are the star of this astrological insight. If your sun sign is not Libra, we still all do have a little bit of Libra in us. If you have your birth chart, which house is Libra in, that's where this energy shows up for you. My goal is to provide valuable information to empower you. This is a general or collective reading. So just be aware, parts may or may not resonate with you. Take what works for you and leave the rest. Also, this is a timely reading, meaning that if you're watching it right now, it's the perfect time to do so. And if it's been a while since I've posted this, what was going on in your life back then? That could give you clarity for your situation now. So we're going to start with the underlying energy from the bottom of the deck, and we have the sun. Yay! Libra, off to a great start. The sun is the happiest card in the deck. Oh, sorry about that. My cat just snuck up from the other side and jumped on me. She wants to be part of the reading. So, okay, your job, you know what it is. You're supposed to purr and lay down and be a good kitty. So let's get you to do that. Sorry. She scared me. I didn't expect her to come from where she did. So the sun is the happiest card in the deck. And you can see there's sunflowers turning with the sun. The sun represents God. And this pony, this is talking that you're on your destined path here. And it's really interesting because this card's like says a lot at the beginning of the reading. This is the underlying energy for that entire reading. So it's a happy reading, or it's supposed to be, we'll see. And then this young child is carrying this heavy banner because they're on their destined path. And this is saying you were always meant to be happy. They're not having any trouble carrying this because it is their destined path. What's interesting is this also has this pony here. And I'm paying attention to the readings right now when a horse shows up in the readings, because on the 17th of February, we will be having, it'll be the Chinese New Year, and it'll usher in the year of the fiery horse. And we'll be leaving the snake energy. So on February 1st, we have a full moon, and that energy we're starting to feel already now. The full moon is in Leo, and the sun sign we're in right now is Aquarius. So the energy, Leo is right across from the wheel in the horoscope, is Aquarius. So they're opposing signs basically. And Leo is saying, Leo is a born leader sign. And Leo is saying, I am wanting to look after my own needs, and I'm wanting to express my creativity and myself and my personality. And I want this to be about me right now. And the Aquarius is saying, no, you have to look after the entire group. You have to look after your family, the responsibilities, and you have to look after the whole world. And so this is the energy that we have back and forth with this full moon that's coming in on the 1st of February. And so it's kind of, it's making people kind of want to look after themselves and go on it, on like a self-expression kind of energy. And then on the 17th, we have the new moon coming in. And on that exact same day, we do have the energy of the fiery horse, because it's the first day of the Chinese New Year. So if you blew your resolutions back at the beginning of this month, here's your chance. You can have a second chance at them. But this energy of the fiery horse energy is also talking about adventure and free-spirited expression. And this energy makes people want to really set high standards and high goals and achievements. And the danger of this sign, well, in love, it's also very passionate and heartfelt. But the danger of this sign is that it can be very impulsive, and also it can be like where you set your goals so high and you don't set enough time for it, so you end up burning yourself out before you get to the finish line. So just keeping all that energy is coming off that one card there. So that's the underlying energy for the reading, and this is for the internal forces. Well, now this is interesting because here we have the shift disturber, and this is your internal forces. So this is saying, this card, it comes up as a walking contradiction. So you could be feeling that way right now, like you're, in this energy, this person is looking backwards, and the swords represent your thoughts and mental intelligence. It represents, written word kind of energy, thoughts, that kind of energy. And for whatever reason, he's sneaking away with these 5 swords, and he's got 2 planted here that he's left. And he's looking backwards, but he's moving forward. He's not looking where he's going. He's on his tiptoes, and look how he's holding these swords. Like, he's holding these swords like, I mean, who holds swords like that? He's just a walking contradiction. And it looks like he's a thief because he's sneaking away with these swords from this village. But he's not a thief in the night because he's in broad daylight doing this. So this can represent sometimes like white collar crime, basically. So this can be like stealing someone's intellectual material, copyright infringement, trademark infringement. It could be identity theft, that kind of energy. So this is like a card, like at the same time, sometimes, and it can be read as a card where this person has he's just a courageous fool, and he's decided, he's going to sneak in and steal these swords so that he doesn't have to, so that they don't have any weapons to fight with, but he leaves 2 behind, so it doesn't really make any sense. So when this card comes up, it's a walking contradiction. It means that someone is very shifty, and you need to watch, like if you don't want to, you really don't want to be signing any contracts or anything with this person, because they're probably up to, well, they're a walking contradiction. We'll just put it that way. And then we have the King of Cups coming in. So this is the what you self-identify as, the King of Cups. The King of Cups is the most available emotionally from all the kings in the deck. There's 4 of them. And he is holding his cup of love. He's out in the middle of all these big waves, which represent troubled waters in tarot. And he's sitting on a slab here. He does have his right foot forward. That means that he's ready to make a movement, to take action, but he's waiting. And he's very calm, even though he may be surrounded by total chaos, but he has matured into being able to control his own emotions, and he will get up when he feels the time is right and deliver this cup of love. Now, usually this cup of love could be a romantic gesture, especially from the King of Cups. Having said that, sometimes it could be a cup representing something you really love to do or you love to be, like a career that you would really love to be in, or you're wanting to move to a country that you really love, something like that. And and if it's a person, it doesn't necessarily have to be a romance, but most likely is. We have the Magician. So when the Fool starts out on his journey in the major arcana, he starts at the 0 point. And from the 0 point, the very first card he comes across is the Magician. So the Magician is is pointing to the sky with his wand, which is as above and so below. So it's talking about bringing your thoughts and down to earth so that they become material matter. And he has like the bench here with all the tools that he needs, and he has a garden at his feet. This is representing someone that's able to bring his thoughts into physical matter and enjoy it on planet Earth. Also, this infinity symbol is representing infinite potential. And he also has an Ouroboros around his waist. So an Ouroboros is a snake biting its tail. And we're leaving the year of the snake to move into the year of the fiery horse. And on the moon on the February 1st would be a great time to release anything that is no longer serving you. The full moon is a good time to get, release whatever's not working for you so that you can be ready for the new energy coming in with the fiery horse. That's going to be really powerful energy because there's also a new moon and an eclipse on that day. And we have the energy of strength. So this is really cool. We have the two infinity symbols above the head together. And so this is saying this young woman is reaching into this lion's mouth, and he's clearly a mature lion, but he's being very submissive. He has his tail tucked underneath, and he's allowing this to happen. And she's doing this. This lion represents her fears, and quite often this represents fears that you've held since you were a child, and in your subconscious mind. And she's reaching into his mouth to prove to herself that she can face her fears. And then she has the infinity symbol above her head, because if she's willing to face her fears, then she'll be able to, bring this magic in a much bigger way. And this is also saying that she has the integrity, like to look at her shadow side, basically, and look into, okay, what can I do to improve myself? That's the kind of energy that is. And then we have lovers. So yes, the King of Cups is thinking about a lover. And the Lover's card is a card of choice, basically. When this tarot deck first came out, it was first read more as a choice of people, but now, and choices in general. But now it's it's talking about talking about the lovers, but it's also talking about the energy of, how well do you know someone? There's these clouds in between the two of them. So maybe they don't know each other as well as they think they do. And there's an angel here. Sometimes this card can represent just you yourself. And this is your higher self. And as I say, it's on the higher self network where we get the downloads from above, from the sun. And the sun represents God. And again, that's the happiness. So when the Lover's card represents someone that is in your destined path, that you were supposed to meet, that your souls are supposed to meet each other at some point on this earth. And this isn't the soulmate card, though. This is just a partner, a divine partner, a lover that you could have. And it also could represent just yourself and your masculine and feminine qualities coming together as one, 50-50, so that like your masculine energy is dominated by the right side of your body. And it is when you are ready to take action and your logical thinking. And your left side is the more feminine aspects, and it's your intuitive ability and, your creativity. So we have, look at this, we have a proposal. Look at all, because the sun is the happiest card in the deck, one thing I'm really noticing here is almost every background, and even this one is beige, but these are all bright yellow, like as if the sun's shining on this. So it's like, like this is the energy. As I said, the sun shines its energy on the whole deck. This card, the Four of Wands, is the card of marriage, of proposal. So it looks like the King of Cups is looking to propose to someone, but they've had to kind of gather themselves together and face any fears they have about commitment, is what I'm getting. And this is like a portal that this is the beginning of fulfillment, ultimate fulfillment, but it's at the early stages of ultimate fulfillment. It's about, like there's the castle and the couple and the children playing, and it's in a beautiful area, that kind of area, or that kind of energy. Having said that, as I said, it's the beginning. So this is basically saying you have the down payment for your castle, which is a huge achievement. And now you're still going to have to make the mortgage payments, and you're going to have to work on the relationship. This also represents the 111 or 1111 portal, which is an energy. It's a portal of energy of synchronicity from the universe. It's a way that the universe communicates with us. And you'll know if you've entered that portal, because all of a sudden you'll just look up at the clock and it'll be like, oh, it's 11:11, and then a couple hours later, oh, it's 1:11, and you know, you're going to pick up a package and it's at 111 11th Avenue, and you're in the car and someone cuts you off and their license plate has 111 in it, and you're like, oh, and they cut you off, so they're ahead of you. Next thing you know, bang, like they're in a fender bender, and you just get to keep on driving. And so this is the energy of, quite often when that 111 hits, like when you notice it, check your thoughts, because what it's saying is that you're manifesting at a very high rate right now, and you want to be thinking about where you want to go and what you want to do, not the opposite. And quite often you'll notice, oh, I was thinking a negative thought, that kind of energy. So just it's just a synchronicity, and that's how the universe communicates to us, through synchronicity. And then we have the Emperor. The Emperor has been coming up a lot in these readings. So the Emperor is all four kings rolled into one person. And, you know, it's the end. Like when you have a king already, it can be saying that this king is becoming an emperor if you start getting a lot of kings in the reading. But I don't know, the Emperor's been coming in a lot, and I feel like it might be someone that's representing like an authority figure more than like the rest. We'll see, because in the other readings that's the way it's been. But the Emperor is has all the qualities of all four kings. So he's available emotionally, and he is also someone who is he's able to control his emotions, and he's patient. He also is very wise. He's able to use his intellect. He is also very intuitive. He's very good with money and bringing energy down, so lifestyle, all of those energies, passionate. And he was wearing his armor underneath his robe, because he is ready for action at a moment's notice. He's all about performance. So if he's like most likely to be like a CEO of a company, of a large corporation. He would be a Supreme Court judge, the head prosecutor. He might be a prime minister or a president, or an actual emperor or a king, that kind, like someone who runs the country basically. And he whatever he's doing, he's at the top of his game. And so he's an authority figure. He could be a judge, like as I said. I think I said a prosecutor. I'm trying to think what else like represents this energy. He could be a leading actor, or a producer, or I guess it would be a producer, a director possibly. Someone who has authority and can make shift happen, and because he's all about performance. And so these are the internal forces. The internal forces are when you're laying in bed and you're thinking, what if I do this and this happens? Or what if they do that and this happens? What if? It's the woulda, shoulda, couldas that keep you up, in the wee hours of the morning. And so we're just going to look, what are the internal forces here? So this is how you identify with yourself as the King of Cups. Your abundance and self-worth, you feel like you can make, you have a lot of ability to make shift happen. Your communication in your early life, there's some childhood wounding there, but you've been working on it. And then this is about your emotional foundation. So basically, I feel like it's all sunny. It looks like this is someone that God's sending, and if not, it's your higher self getting together. But with this marriage card can sometimes just mean a commitment in business, or a commitment to something like writing a book, or, something like that. But more than likely, it's a lover. And then we have, this is your daily routine and habits. So this is talking about having a lot of discipline, and in your, so that you have this high performance. So we're going to check out now the external forces. And the external forces, we have the Page of Swords. The Page of Swords, the pages would work for the king and the queen in the court, and they would deliver messages in between people in the palace walls and do small tasks, etc. They would generally come from a higher class, society person around the king and the queen, sometimes even a distant relative. And their job would mostly be to deliver messages. And of course, and back in those days, they would be on foot and it would be handed to you, kind of like energy. But now, this could represent communication coming in from an email, a phone call, something in the mail. It could be a text message, something you see on social media. It could be like something you see on the news. Whatever's happening on the news at a higher level can be trickling down and happening to the average individual that's not running the country or whatever. So this also can be a thought that comes in. And what's interesting about the Page of Swords is he is not looking at his element. It's like he's had a thought, but now he's looking into the distance over here to see, he's using his intellect, and he's also using his intuition. So this is someone who can think outside the box. And this also reminds me of a golf pose. And I feel like this, the energy of golf, it's a very mental sport. And so, a lot of business people golf and do business on the course. Like a lot of politicians, a lot of business gets done on a golf course for several reasons. For one, it's way more pleasant than sitting in a conference room in an office. And the courses are beautiful. But it's also, if you're golfing with someone, you can tell a lot about them by how they play their game. Like when they're winning, are they a good winner? Are they a good loser? Do they get stressed out, because they have the first hole is a disaster and then the game just gets worse from that point? Or do they have a comeback and get a hole in one at the next hole? That's the kind of energy. And I feel like that in big part, that's, you can learn a lot from someone when you golf with them. And so that's the kind of energy we're dealing with here. It's it's about, being able to control your mind and your emotions so that you can be at this high performance of the king and the emperor. And we have, look at this. We have the 9 of Swords coming in. So this is an interesting card. It's really interesting because this card, okay, so Libra, you're the 7th reading I've done for the beginning of February. And I was like, why? Every single reading now, except for one, has had this card in it. And I'm like, that's kind of unusual. I mean, I shuffle like beforehand, and then I shuffle before I do this. Before I do each reading, I, cut the cards and everything, and yet this card keeps showing up. And then I was, because this card represents a never-ending nightmare. Like the what ifs keeping you up at night, kind of, or the external force is coming in, and it's like, what the EF. So when you get the what the EFs, like what the EF happened here, I was doing everything the way I was planned, and I was doing everything correctly, and yet look at, the disaster or whatever that happened. This card can also represent like a real suffocating, stifling boredom, like just tired of doing the same old day after day kind of energy. And then I realized, I should look it up because I got when is Groundhog Day? It's on February 2nd. So we've got the full moon saying, I want to do what I want to do. And then we've got this boredom feeling coming in for almost every single sign except for one at this point. So I wasn't surprised to see it. I'm like, I wonder how many of the other readings this card will come up, So normally it does read as a never-ending nightmare, but I feel like it's representing, it could be, your boredom could be a never-ending nightmare. And then sometimes it can be, because we've got the sun here, enlightenment from the Most High, and getting that in the wee hours of the morning, generally between 2 and 4. You wake up from a dream and you're like, whoa, that dream was so real. And, it plays out in your head, and it's like, it actually showed you steps of action to take to get to where you're going. So it's kind of that energy. This person could be trying to remember, what did that dream say again? So, and because the quilt on the bed actually has cosmic symbols on it that represent that the quilt is saying you're covered by the universe. The universe has you covered. So we'll see what that boredom can be very dangerous moving into the year of the horse, or because of the impulsiveness of that energy, you know. And this actually, I wanted to say, can be like a fresh, like a thought that you have, that you're just like, aha, this is exactly like this would be such a good idea. If you have something like that, like, you know, especially if it's in the wee hours of the morning, write it down so you don't forget it, because it's a good time to get like aha moments. And then we have the Hermit. So the Hermit is about going inward and really finding direction in the next actions you want to take. The Hermit has come from a dark night of the soul, possibly because he's in a never-ending nightmare. And he climbs up to the top of the mountain, and then he isolates himself, and he meditates and prays until he gets guidance from God. And when his lantern is full of light from his North Star energy, which is your guiding light, and his rod is golden, and that's representing, okay, now he knows what kind of action he needs to take. So he comes down from the mountain and he takes action, but he isn't impulsive. I'm just really wanted to share that with people, because the horse energy, especially if you're a fire sign, or if you're around fire signs, you know, they already are fiery. They don't need really a whole lot more fire usually. And sometimes it could just be that like lighting a match, you know, by a gasoline tank sort of energy. And so it's kind of that energy, like explosive anger could come up, or just like doing something so like, I'm going to ask you to marry me, and I've met you 3 days ago. And then going and actually going through with it. Then getting tattoos with your names on them, and waking up in the morning and going, who are you? That kind of energy. So this is the Seven of Cups. And so this is a lot of opportunities coming in, as long as you consult with God first. And these opportunities, there's 7 cups here, and they all have gifts in them. And so they're all possibilities for having like a lot of wonderful, assets, and having what you really love. Having said that, they can be challenges, because mostly it's very rare for a real good possibility. It's wrapped up in challenges as well. So quite often, possibilities are disguised as challenges. So you'd have to put some effort into them. But it's like you're a black hole ready to suck in all these opportunities. It's a good place to be. The biggest problem you have is choice. Like, what do I want to do first kind of energy. And then we have the Empress. And so this is all 4 queens rolled into one. So we have an emperor and an empress here now on the external forces. So she's got the qualities of the Queen of Pentacles, which is she's very good at resourceful. She likes quality over quantity. We've got the Queen of Swords, who's very understands discernment. She's been there, done that, and bought the T-shirt. And we have the energy of the Queen of Wands, who is very sexy and a natural beauty. And she's very intuitive, and she has a very sunny disposition. And then we have the energy of, who are we missing here? Oh, the Swords. So the intellect. Yeah. So, oh no, I said that with the Queen. So Swords. Which one am I missing here? We got the sexy wand one. We have, the Cup of Love. There we go. So yeah, and so the Empress is a generator for energy. She attracts all that's good to her like a magnet. So whatever, like she's full of energy all the time. and doesn't concern herself. Like that's what this wheat represent. She plants her seeds, and then she just lets nature take care of it, and she has no doubt it's going to grow and bring in a crop for her, and it always does because she has no doubt. And so she's mastered the art of the magician, right? And then we have the Knight of Pentacles coming in. And so the Knight of Pentacles is talking about health, wealth, happiness. That's what the Pentacles represent. And this energy is talking about some sort of communication is coming in. The Knight of Pentacles is the very slowest moving of all the knights. His horse is basically at a standstill hill. And you notice it's about heavier horse, right? And this horse, he's like surveying the land, trying to decide, okay, what direction should I go in? The thing, you could wait forever for the Knight of Pentacles. And so, because he does take his time getting there. Having said that, when he does show up, he generally has a real solid offer. And it's regarding Pentacles. Pentacles are money, as well as just your health, your wealth, your lifestyle, and your happiness. And look, we have this reading that has all this happiness here. So this is an energy of, he finally delivers the message. And the message is quite often like a message about a lot of money, like a legacy. And generally, like, because he's taken his time, the energy is really clear, and it's actually a solid offer. Then we have the World. So this is talking about, the Fool starts on his journey here, and then this cycle is over. Interesting. So it's like a cycle could last a whole lifetime, where you could have like several cycles in your lifetime. Most people do have at least a few. And so depends on how often you change, like kind of your goals or whatever. So this is really interesting how we have this energy of wanting to go on a new cycle. Let's look into this a little bit more here, because I find it interesting. Like, this is the King of Cups here, but the underlying energy for the internal forces is this shift disturber energy. Otherwise, like what is he doing here? Why are you here? Why are you here disturbing our peace and our happiness? This sometimes, though, can be an innovative thinker. And with this card, for the external forces, it could be like that this guy has a really great idea, but it's really out there, right? But that could be this energy coming in here, because this is like a fresh idea also. I don't trust that shifty guy, though. It's someone who likes to stir the pot, It's like, sometimes it could be just someone that thinks it's funny to do this. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to clarify with my oracle. I was kind of like, oh, okay. I'm trying to figure out why he's here. All this energy that's so like, like it's all like, yeah, you know what you're doing. And then all of a sudden, this is the underlying energy for this. Interesting. But this can represent innovative thinking, and we do have this in the external forces, and we do have this boredom coming through. So I'm going to clarify this. If you're enjoying this reading, please give it a like and a comment. It really helps to build my channel, and I really appreciate it. I am going to clarify with my oracle, Tales from the Vector, TAILS from the Vector. And I do have a website, .com, talesfromthevector.com. And the numbers on the cards I'm using represent the 64 paintings that I started in 2007. I completed them in 2020. And now I've had the deck out and about over the years at my seminars and at psychic fairs, etc. But now I want to get the information, because I'm ready to print it now that all the paintings are done. And I want to, I have time now. I wanted to get online and work with a bunch of people so I can see, write up the information that goes with it. In the description box below, I will put the cards as they appear here with the numbers on them. So if you want to check it out, you can. The information will be in the description box below. I've been tuning into this energy as I'm talking, but we still aren't quite ready to go yet. I just want to make sure. Okay, what is happening here for Libra? Whoa, there we go. Let's see, the card that come out is the card of destruction. So there we have. There's a reason why. It's okay, Stella. Do you want to come up here? Come. Come. Okay, you don't. That's the cat. Cats have staff, dogs have owners. So this is talking about getting off track. So this is saying, don't let, it's saying like this is such a promising energy. Don't let someone disturb your promising energy here. This just went flying out, and I feel like it has to do with this energy. It's a tactic. It's someone who, like I said, they like to stir the pot just because it's fun for them, but it's not, like they have nothing to lose basically, but you do. Let me put it to you that way. And then this is Sagittarius energy. So this is talking about someone who likes adventure and travel and likes to expand their horizons, that kind of energy. Ruled by Jupiter, which is adventure, and it's also luck. Like generally Jupiter is a lucky planet. So it's kind of like, an energy that is a walking contradiction here. We'll look at, it'll probably come up here as we go. I want to point out when my signs come out from the horoscope, and I'm not saying, oh, the Sagittarius is the sneaky person, so I'm not identifying people in that way. I'm more talking about the energy, the state of being of each sign, because we all do have every sign in us. And if you get your chart done, you can see which house each one is in, and then you can tell, oh, there's might be some sneaky stuff coming up in this house or in that one. One could be your marriage house, one could be your business, that kind of energy. So it's talking about about the state of being of the sign when it's at its best. Sagittarius energy is at adventure, and at its worst, it's that impulsive horse energy, like doing something just because you think it would be funny, and it can like have such a negative effect on the people around, and then they just go off on their business, just like that. It's kind of energy like that. And they think it's funny, but it ruins people's lives. So it's not that funny. And so we have dissension here, sitting on this King of Cups. And this is saying with friends like this, who needs enemies? So you may have someone in the background that this is what is the warning is, someone in the background dissension is when you're swimming with sharks, and dissension of information is when someone comes in and they're really sneaky and they imply that maybe you did this, that kind of energy. And they cause dissension within the people that you do business with, that you hang out with, whatever. And they like to stir the pot, and they gossip, and they make, they say things to cause other people to think, oh, I never thought that person was capable of that. And before you know it, they've done it so much that they actually can ruin someone's reputation, their business, like their everything, their marriage, like the whole bit. So it's like that kind of energy is what it's being warning. That's why I knew it would come out. So this is saying, God is saying, be careful, because someone wants to ruin your life, basically. And it's someone with friends like this who needs enemies. So you're swimming with sharks. And I used to live in Australia, and I was on the Barrier Reef, and I got my scuba diving ticket. And there was sharks there, and it was a bit scary for me because I'm from the prairies. But I never had a problem with the shark. But we're talking human sharks. So that's the kind of energy we're talking about. Mother's worry. Okay, so this energy, there could be someone's mother involved, or this card has been coming up a lot because a lot of people are really concerned with what's happening on Mother Earth. A lot of people refer to the Earth as Mother Earth, and I feel like that worry is creating, like, I mean, definitely there is some real this kind of behavior, and especially with the AI now, it's really hard to identify what's real and what's not unless you get a trained eye for it, what AI is really about. And it's being used in such ridiculous ways right now because it's like a new toy almost that people are playing with. But I'm already noticing like people are kind of irritated with it because it's being used in ways where like it just causes problems for people, and it makes it more challenging for the everyday person to know what's real or what's not real. And then and in other ways, it can really really empower you to get a lot more done quickly, especially when you're organizing computer files or doing research. It's awesome for research. Okay, so we have the Emperor coming in again here. And this is on being able to heal. And that's what I was saying, is wanting to heal those childhood wounds that maybe would make it challenging for you to make that commitment. And then we have the World here. So we have the cards re-clarifying each other. So this is saying, again, the World, isn't it interesting how it's ending here on this card on a Lover? Okay. So this shift disturber could be this lover that this King of Cups is interested in. So be careful of that. Do your research. Basically, I was just talking about research and performance. And then we have deception. Kiss me good. There's a hex in the city. Witches and their broomsticks. Be careful. If you've just met someone or whatever, do your research. Because it's like this is saying the journey that you're supposed to be on could end right here. Or basically, if this shift disturber is the lover that you're thinking about asking to marry you, there's some deception here. You need to look into it. It doesn't have to be, but do your research. Don't ask someone to marry you or have them come, be a significant other if they, unless you've researched them properly. That's the energy. And we have the father figures. So as I said, this is, it's interesting. We have both mother and father figures here. We have the mother's worry, and then we have the energy of sometimes, like if young women didn't have a strong father figure, they'll be searching for fathers in all the wrong places, and that energy could come up here. And it also could be that your father, when you're a young woman and your father is your hero, that you're a daddy's girl and no one measures up to your father, that kind of energy. And with the mother's worry, if it's not the planet, it's kind of that same energy, but reverse it with the male energy. And then we have judgment coming in on these. So some sort of energy is coming in from some thoughts and that. And I feel like look it's from this sword energy. And then you notice, like, we have the sword energy right here, and then we go back to, everything's all okay. So this is, and this is also the cosmic heart energy. So this dragon is a pink and green dragon, and she's flying through the sky. And in the judgment position, she's upright. And this is talking about the cosmic heart and judgment coming in from God on this shift disturber. Interesting. And then this card is also in your personal heart chakra, and she's falling upside down, and her energy is saying falling and failing in love is a matter of eye, which brings us back to that Leo full moon that come up about being making sure that you look after yourself and your needs so that, you know, you put your oxygen mask on before you empower someone else, and be, you know, be aware. Like if your intuition is yelling at you, like there's something not quite right here, listen to it. And then we have, maybe that's why the King of Cups is sitting there around, like he's, like it's almost like, where did all this chaotic energy come from? Like it was calm until, oh yeah, until we met this person that I'm thinking about asking me to marry. That kind of energy. It probably isn't that clear, but I'm just giving you an idea here. Because the Libra energy is when you're mature enough to get married. And it's like a lot of people in like if we're just talking about the Libra energy in general, it is, and we have the marriage card comes up here. It means you're responsible enough to be able to get married. And it's on your mind, starting a family, that kind of energy, or your family's on your mind. And so this is talking, I feel like this is talking about that boredom, because that's the energy of giving yourself total permission to go after your authentic desires, because you're like, you can't handle the same old Groundhog's Day. And the interesting thing is, you know, Groundhog's Day is like when, you know, we're all revolving around the sun. And in school, and I think they still teach it this way, they show like all the planets, you know, they're, you know, as they get, you know, where they are in relationship to each other, but they show them all going in a perfect circle, you know, around the sun. And that's not how it is. We are moving all the time. So we're doing this, where the whole Milky Way is like spiraling, and it's spinning and it's moving. So you can never ever be in exactly the same position as you were in before. Like it's impossible. So there really is no Groundhog's Day, but because on Earth we have time and everything's linear, it feels like Groundhog's Day. A lot of people don't recognize that. As you're sitting in your chair, you're traveling at a very high speed and spiraling. And here we have the shooting star energy. So this is talking about having a good, strong attitude in life. And that is actually in the transition space. So it's like after going and conferring with God, making sure you're staying on your path. And I think it's a warning that there could be this shift disturber coming into your life. Be careful. And we have, or you might have already had this person in your life, and you know, but you don't know all the details. And maybe that truth now, that judgment of what they were really doing, is going to come out. And, you know, then you'll have a better clarity of why your life went to shift after you met them, kind of energy. And then we have the Aquarius energy here. And so this is about, you know, observation and experimentation. So the danger here is like, when it's really weird, but when people have a lot of choices, quite often they get stuck, because it's like, I have too many choices, I don't know what to choose. It's like when we have a lot of information in the AI, and it's like, you know, should I choose that cup or should I choose this one? These cups are destined for you, so it's up to you how much of a challenge you want to take on, basically. And you don't have to worry. There's no lack. Everybody has their special opportunities provided for them to go through life. It's just that sometimes they think other people's opportunities are better than their opportunities. So they, instead of focusing on their path, they end up focusing on someone else's path. And that's kind of this energy here that we're talking about. And so the Aquarius energy is about using your intellect in a very wise way. And we moved into the age of Aquarius probably, it's a slow process, because it's a 2,160 year process. And so the age of Aquarius, but we pretty much noticed it in 2020. And I feel like we're really noticing it more now with this AI coming in. So it's instead of trying to fix problems that are like really like traditional and whatever, it's about like, oh, let's just do small experiments and observe what happens. And if it's working, then double down on what works and just don't do what doesn't work anymore. Kind of that energy, and not taking everything so seriously. Like we're coming out of the age of Pisces, and the Piscean energy is like the old boys club, and it's these are the rules and this is how you do things and da da da, and it's got to be done a certain way. And the Aquarius energy is very different from that. It's an energy of let's try new shift. Let's experiment. And that's in the Piscean energy, it wouldn't be uncommon for someone to have the same job or a career for their whole lifetime and work for the same company, and that's very highly unlikely these days for most people. So the Empress is, we have the Empress and the Emperor out twice here. And the Empress is right on the Empress. So this energy is saying, like you're a powerful manifester. And this is in public, this is your public image. And so people seeing you that way as being someone that is able to produce and generate energy. And this one is more like needing to heal those childhood wounds, because that's the kind of energy that attracts this kind of energy. And then we have the All-Star. So this is talking about really, again, being able to use your insight to make decisions, not just using a combination of your logic and your intuitive ability. And then we have the Scorpio energy coming in. And this is, again, it's a very deep energy again. Like the Scorpio energy is, Mars can be really aggressive, and then Pluto is out there. It's the planet that's further out. And so it's just like when these energies combine, it can be like Scorpio energy is very intense. And so when Scorpio energy is at its best, it's talking about elevating people instead of conquering. But the Scorpio, what you have to remember about Scorpio energy is the Scorpion has a stinger. And, if you, their words can be very cutting. And also, they're the kind of people that if you piss them off, you'll know it. That's the kind of energy. So that is Libra, what's going on. Like, it's like saying, like, this is a really awesome reading. Be careful if you're bored, that you don't like, meet someone and then it's hey, this person's different. Yeah, they're different, all right. So you don't want them to disrupt your whole plan, because the whole reading, the only part of this reading that has any energy like that is right here. I mean, we have the Empress and the Emperor out twice here, Libra. That's like all the qualities of the king, of all the kings and all the queens out twice. And I'm wondering, because I don't ever remember having a reading with double emperors and double empresses. And so you have to remember each of these cards is able to go both ways, negative or positive. And so it could be saying, like, you, instead of using all the qualities of all that the emperor has, you do the opposite. And same with the empress. So I feel like it's a warning, definitely, like that. Watch your impulses. Watch if you get bored, who you all of a sudden hang out with, and just it's just a good idea. And also make sure you let go of anything that's like that on the full moon. Would be a great time, like today, after this comes out. All right. Are you studying the cards, Stella? Okay, so if you do enjoy this reading, please like and comment and consider subscribing if you resonate. I will be back with another reading for you. And this one I think I'm going to do a bonus set of readings for Valentine's Day. Bye for now. Oh, you're being a big baby.